Your dog is wagging its tail, and you have no idea what it actually means. A tail wag isn't a single emotion made visible. It's a structured signal, direction, height, and speed, each carrying distinct information that researchers have only recently begun to decode. Every dog has a neutral tail position, the resting angle specific to its breed. A wag only carries meaning measured against that baseline. Without knowing the resting position, you're reading a sentence without knowing the alphabet. In 2007, neuroscientist Giorgio Valortigara and veterinarian Angelo Quaranta published a landmark study in Current Biology. They filmed dogs responding to different stimuli and measured which side of the body the tail favored. The result was striking. When dogs saw their owner, tails wagged with a clear bias to the right side of the dog's body. When they saw an unfamiliar dominant dog, the bias shifted left. Same wag, opposite meaning. Neuroscience explains the pattern. The left brain hemisphere, which governs the right side of the body, handles approach and positive emotions. The right hemisphere, controlling the left side, handles withdrawal and threat responses. Most people never realize other dogs can read this asymmetry too. A 2013 study by Marcello Siniscalchi at the University of Bari showed that dogs watching a right-biased wag stayed calm. A left-biased wag raised their heart rate measurably. Human eyes aren't built to catch this asymmetry in real time. The difference between a right-leaning and a left-leaning wag can be as small as a few centimeters of arc at the tail's tip. Asymmetry is only one dimension. Tail height is an entirely separate channel. A tail carried high signals arousal and confidence. A tail tucked low signals fear or submission. Neither maps neatly onto happy or unhappy. A tail held high and stiff isn't the same as a tail held high and loose. Stiffness signals intense focus or potential aggression. Looseness signals relaxed confidence. The muscle tension is a signal all its own. Speed adds a third layer. A slow, measured wag is an exploratory signal. The dog is reading the situation. A fast, full-body wag is high arousal. But high arousal isn't always positive. It can precede aggression as easily as play. One pattern stands apart. When a dog's tail moves in a full circular rotation, the helicopter wag, that's among the most reliable indicators of genuine positive excitement. It requires full muscular relaxation and appears almost exclusively with trusted individuals. Here's a complication most people never consider. Breeds with docked tails, Dobermans, Rottweilers, Boxers, can't broadcast these signals at full resolution. Their communication is structurally truncated before it begins. A 2010 study by Sandra Lever and Thomas Reimschen at the University of Victoria found that dogs with shorter tails received more ambiguous responses from other dogs. The missing signal created measurable social friction in dog-to-dog interactions. Curled tails present a different problem. In breeds like the Akita or the Basenji, the tail rests curled over the back. The directional asymmetry signal, the left-right bias Valortigara documented, is geometrically impossible to broadcast clearly. When the tail can't carry the signal, the brain's left-right hemisphere division shows up elsewhere. Ear position, gaze direction, and weight distribution all carry the same emotional bias, the same lateralization, different channel. The tail is one instrument in a full orchestra. Canine behaviorist Patricia McConnell, in her 2002 book, The Other End of the Leash, warns specifically against reading any single signal in isolation. A wagging tail on a stiff forward-leaning body isn't a greeting. It's a warning. Most dog bites involving children occur when a child approaches a dog that is already wagging. According to the American Veterinary Medical Association, over 4.5 million dog bites occur annually in the United States, and bite prevention guidelines specifically identify tail wag misreading as a contributing factor. A wag isn't permission. It's information that still needs interpreting. Wolves, the ancestors of domestic dogs, use tail signals too, but sparingly, primarily for rank communication within a pack. The domestication process, which began roughly 15,000 years ago, amplified tail signaling as dogs adapted to human social environments. Domestic dogs wag at humans far more than wolves wag at each other. A 2005 study by Adam Miklosi and colleagues at Eötvös Loránd University in Budapest documented that dogs direct significantly more visual social signals toward humans than wolves do, even when raised in identical conditions. The tail became a cross-species communication tool shaped by thousands of generations of human selection. We bred the signal into existence. Then, somewhere across those 15,000 years of partnership, we stopped reading it carefully. We flattened a nuanced language into a single emoji, the happy wag, and lost most of the meaning. Return to speed for a moment. A slow, low wag, tail below neutral, oscillating once or twice per second, is the wag of the dog that doesn't yet know whether a situation is safe. It's caution made visible, not submission, assessment. A genuine greeting wag involves the whole rear end. The tail moves fast, biased right, carried at or above neutral height, with the hindquarters swinging in synchrony. That full body involvement is the signature of relaxed, positive arousal directed at someone trusted. Picture a Labrador at a front door. A stranger enters. The tail wags, centered, measured, moderate speed. The owner walks in 30 minutes later. The tail goes right, fast, the whole body curves. Same breed, same dog, completely different signal. This is exactly what Valatorgera's 2007 data predicted. The asymmetry measured in a controlled laboratory matches what's happening every day in millions of living rooms, unnoticed, unread, right at ankle height. Veterinary behaviorists now use tail reading as a formal clinical tool. The American College of Veterinary Behaviorists includes body language assessment, tail position, wag speed, and muscle tension in its bite risk evaluation protocols. A dog presenting with a high, stiff, slow wag during an examination is flagged as a bite risk, not a calm patient. The tail is part of the intake assessment, not background noise. The International Association of Animal Behavior Consultants, the IAABC, teaches its certified members a consistent first step. Before interpreting any wag, establish the dog's neutral tail position during a calm, undistracted moment. That baseline is your reference point. Every signal you read afterward is measured from there. The tail opens onto something larger. Dogs aren't the only animals with lateralized emotional signaling. In 2011, Angelo Quaranta, the same researcher from the 2007 tail study, co-authored work showing horses display left gaze bias when viewing threatening stimuli, consistent with right hemisphere threat processing. The same left-right brain division shapes behavior across species. The pattern is ancient and widespread. The tail's directional and speed signals are mapped. The full vocabulary of canine body language isn't. As of 2023, Julianne Kaminsky's Dog Cognition Center at the University of Portsmouth is actively investigating facial microexpressions in dogs, specifically whether dogs produce distinct muscle movements to communicate with humans versus other dogs. Here's something you can actually test. Valor Tagara's team noted that slow-motion video review, even on a smartphone, makes the left-right asymmetry visible to untrained observers. Film your dog greeting you versus greeting a stranger. Play it back at half speed. The directional bias the researchers measured in a laboratory will appear in your own footage. The next time your dog wags at you, you're not watching a simple happy reflex. You're watching 15,000 years of coevolution in motion, a left-right asymmetry, a height, a speed, a muscle tension, all broadcast in the space of 1 second. Find your dog's neutral tail position today, the angle it holds when calm and undistracted. That single reference point will change every wag you read for the rest of your life together.